Now, I'm pretty sure when we were all growing up, we've heard this, right? Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Jack and Jill went up the hill, chubby cheeks, dimple chin, eyes are blue, lovely too. I mean, these are rhymes that we've grown up with. And not to forget these books as well, where we talk about, our first book that talks about what we look like and our family and the food that we eat. But for a moment, have we thought that does this look like us? Does this represent who we are and India and our families? Uh, and it's quite interesting, during our journey when we started doing research, before we launched Kutuki, that it was shocking for us to know that this still continues. In fact, I heard a story from, you know, uh, uh, somebody who is in a drought prone region in Maharashtra. And this father was saying that my son keeps singing, Rain, rain, go away, because his Anganwadi teacher has forced him to mug it, right? And I was just so appalled because it's just done because nobody's really thought what this means or really thought about the lyrics and seen how that really affects the minds of young children, because early childhood education has never been a priority, and that was really shocking for us. So that was a big eye opener. That's what really started our journey with Kutuki, this awareness. And I'm going to very quickly, talk about what we do. And we're creating awesome learning content for Indian preschoolers. We are putting Indian children first, and that is the big mission that we're on. And like Pranati mentioned, there are 200 million kids in India, and it's really important that, it's high time that learning resources, took into consideration. Uh, Something that represents them and their lives. So, a little bit about the team and my journey. I know a lot of you, when you signed up, had questions about me and about Kutuki. Kutuki, first of all, means it's a play on the word Kautuka in Sanskrit, which means the curious one. And it's founded by me and my co founder, Bharat. We also happen to be husband and wife, and we met as musicians, which is quite interesting about 10 years ago. Um, Both Bharat and I have spent several years in the corporate world. I went to the London School of Economics, Bharat went to ISB, and we were each in our own corporate lives, but we were also very passionate about music. I'm a trained opera singer, a Western classical singer. Bharat happens to be a trained violinist, a Carnatic violinist, and a guitarist, as well as an audio producer. So we were always performing, we were always making music through the course of our corporate lives and even college and school. But a couple of years ago, we decided that we wanted to make a much larger impact using music and the creative arts, and we quit. So we decided to quit it all. We quit our corporate jobs, we quit everything, and we plunged into the world of music. And in those couple of years, we experimented with a whole bunch of things. We were making music for films, for documentaries, we were doing podcasts. We even opened our a music academy and taught hundreds of kids. I've personally taught 200 music to 200 children, and that sort of led us to schools because we were doing a lot of audio content. And uh, we happened to do a Teach for India anthem, in fact, a couple of years ago, and also started visiting preschools. That's when a lot of preschool teachers were saying that, hey, can you please create fresh, something fresh? We're sick and tired of singing Baba Black Sheep and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and these meaningless things. Can you create something that's Indian, that's fun, that's educational? Because young children in this age group learn with music and storytelling rather than instruction. It needs to be, the medium needs to be engaging. So we thought, hey, let's give this a shot, and that was quite a success. Uh, and that's what led us to really digging deeper and building our understanding about the early learning space. During this journey, there's one example that I'd like to share, which I'm sure will resonate with a lot of you who are working as educators, on the ground. This one particular teacher, a veteran early educator who's taught thousands of children, was saying that 25 to 33% of the kids in her class were being screened for a learning disability. And the perceptive educator that she was, when she started digging a little deeper to understand why this is happening, she realized this had nothing to do with the kids, but in fact it had to do with the accents and the references that were used. Like for example, calling a brinjal aubergine, or your first vegetable book having broccoli and artichoke, and talking about Halloween and your houses having picket fences and fireplaces and things like that. And when the same thing was explained in the child's mother tongue, or in an Indian accent, or using references that you see in an everyday Indian home, the same group of children were able to participate so so effervescently in the conversation. There were a flurry of questions that they had, and that really was a huge challenge for her. But unfortunately, she couldn't do anything because that was what was mandated by her school, because she was merely employed there. And we realized that that's not because teachers don't, that there's lack of intention. It's because there are no resources. There are very limited resources that are available. So what we decided to do then was, while audio content was well and fine, we realized that alone is not enough, because children learn in multiple ways, right? There are oral learners, there are visual learners, you also have learners who are kinesthetic learners. So we realized that it's important for us to have a visual angle to our content as well, which was very important, which is why we started hiring visual artists. So when we started out, we were completely bootstrapped. It was all our savings that went into building Kutuki, and we were a team of about three people who were who started, and today we're at a 10-member team. So apart from Bharat and me, we also have some incredible creative people who are on board, who are storytellers, who are visual artists. We also have educators on board. We have somebody on board who handles technology of Kutuki to make the access of our content absolutely seamless on our product. And we have somebody who manages customer relationships and growth for us.